Let's take a look at the Wimmera Football here on the Friday Night Sports Show, repeated Saturday morning. Scotty Stewart is with us from the Warwick Eagles Footy Club and the Warwick Herald newspaper. G'day, Scotty. How are you?
Yeah, I'm going all right. Thanks, Wayne.
Good to hear. Well, I'll tell you what, Minyip Matoa, if ever there's a side that just finds a way to win this year, I don't think that they've got quite the side that they have had in the previous two seasons yet. Everything says that Minyip Matoa are the best side in this competition.
Yeah, it's a bit that way at the moment, and I do agree with what you say there. That not as strong as what they've been in the previous seasons by line-up. Obviously they haven't suffered a loss just yet. But yeah, just outsiders looking in, maybe that's what we probably think. But they're getting the job done each week, and that one last week must have been a real battle for them just to get over Horsham, who were coming home at the end.
They were, and in the end, the final score 10-13, 73 to 9 goals, 6-62. A great performance, though, in the end by the winners there, which is Minyip Matoa. And the reason I say that is they've lost Ison, who booted 10 on the weekend, by the way, for Rapania, but also the two McIntyres have gone down to Eden O'Bapsley in the Horsham district. Yet they still win. Jay McGrath, 3 goals for them. Mitch Johns, very, very good. They have got still the nucleus of a very good side. And what about this game? Dimboola, 19-12, 126 to beat nil, 11-6, 72 at Davis Park. Probably, for the Dimmy side, we did suggest that they're going to probably win these games and get themselves into positive territory, but they had to do it, and they did it well.
Yeah, they certainly did, didn't they? And, as we've been talking about for the last few weeks, they had that the hiccup at the start of the season where they were started 12 points behind everyone, but that win last weekend, that squared that ledger. So she's onwards and upwards now to the Roos, and get themselves into black figures and make their way up the ladder. But that one, last week, it looked like they just controlled the game right from the start, and a couple of that third quarter there, kicking 8 goals to 2 there, and that's sort of broke the game over. It was a pretty competitive first half, I would imagine there at Davis Park, and would have been a picture on with the weather the way it was last weekend too, and it would have been played in good conditions and 30 goals. Well, that just shows that between the two sides that it would have been a good day. But no, the Dimboola lads, a couple of recruits I see in their best players. So, they must be all gelling together pretty well, and they'll be looking forward to this weekend.
All right, now the Ararat, the red and the white Rats got 9-12, 66 to beat the Southern Mallee Giants, 4-4, 28 at Beulah, if you don't mind. The Giants have lost 3 in a row, and there's got to be some reasoning for this. They're not kicking goals. I did a little bit of research on it. I'm going to take it up with Coleman a bit later in the program, but first game, 15 goals in their round 1 match. They kicked 21 goals against the Warwick Eagles in round 2. Since that time, they went down to Minyip Matoa by kicking just 6 goals, 4 goals against the Horsham D's and 4 goals against the Rats. They've kicked 14 goals in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly right. You did notice that when you're putting the results together, and you can just, that's just their Achilles heel at the moment, isn't it? They've always been renowned as a good high-scoring football team, and you got the Webster boys down there. I know they're going through some injury troubles at the minute, but they do have to find a way to hit the scoreboard, don't they? Because as I said, the last 2 weeks, 4 goals in each of those games, and Herald didn't annihilate them on the scoreboard. But you look at the final score, 9-12 to 4-4, and it's a pretty comprehensive victory down there. And Matty Wilder just keeps on going on with his lads down there, and proven undefeated, and 6 from 6 so far, and looking pretty good, I think.
They are looking good. Tom Mills, only the 2 goals, well controlled by both the Josh Webster and Sam Waddell went back on him too, I think, but gee, that was a really good performance by Ararat. And Stall 16-15, 111 beat your Eagles 3-11-29. I heard a big thump, and that I reckon might have been the Eagles crashing back down to earth.
Yeah, they didn't really put up much of a show in there last weekend. The first half was pretty competitive, but just towards the end of the second half there, you could just tell that Store was really lifting their intensity, and they come out after half time, and you would have sworn they had 36 players on the ground the way they were running the ball, just hunted in numbers and hunted in packs. So I'd imagine the instructions from the coaching staff there at half time was is to get the numbers around the footy and push the ball deep into attack, which they did. 6 goals unanswered in that third quarter. It was a real dominant display by the Warriors in that second half, because they followed up with another 6 in the last quarter. And they looked really good. I can say that from watching that game last week firsthand. And yeah, as I said, that nil game was played in perfect conditions, so they're all up and about and all excited. And all those players just wanted to get their hands on the footy, and unfortunately for the Eagles, most of them did.
Yeah, they did. Looking at the reserve score, and the Warwick Eagles kicked 13-17 to beat Stall 7-4. I noticed the Watts boys were both high up in the better players for the Warwick Eagles. So obviously these kids that you have put some senior football into, they're going to get their opportunity again in that senior side.
Yeah, they will. Exactly. They performed well in the twos there, and that was a pretty good win by them last weekend. They'd taken 30 shots on goal. It was a bit inaccurate there. A couple of forwards up front there. Yeah, a bit of an inaccurate day in front of the sticks, but yeah, they're pretty well controlled it after quarter time, and it was a really good win by them.
It was a real good win. And in the 17s, Bibby and Matthews led the way for the powerful Stall Warriors in this age group, and they were way too good. Evans, Inst, McGregor all got 2 goals for your Warwick Eagles. While in the 14-year-old age group, at the start of the day, kicking the dew off in the morning, it was a tough ask, but out they came to play and they drew the game. Now, you don't often get this, but your kids 4-6 to their kids 4-6. A drawn game.
Yeah, exactly. As you say, starting the day off with an exciting game there, and I think that's the first draw they can register for any grade in the Wimmera League. So the kids had a good battle, and come out a couple of points each. But if you look at the ladder positions at the minute, the Eagles sitting in 4th and Stall at 6th. So, yeah, pretty evenly matched. So, a good battle between the kids.
Yeah, they certainly did. They didn't kick a goal after half-time, the Eagles, so that might be their Achilles heel in the under-14. Seth Keane, Dane George, Hayden Polak and Tom Penny, the better players. Dan George, Charlie Martin, Tom Penny and Cooper Preston all got their name on the score sheets there. Over to this week's matches and your tips for what's going to be a really important round. It is round 7. Dimmy play the Saints at Dimbulla. Chance for them to go positive on the ledger.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you'd think, looking at the way the form is at the moment, they will do that this weekend. I would think over the Saints, they'll return from a bye after sitting out last weekend having a rest. But they'd suffered a couple of losses there in the first 5 rounds, and they'll be keen to put up a good showing. But I think Dimmy now, they've hit that. As I said, they've squared their ledger, and now they just want to put some positive points on the board. And yeah, I'm pretty sure with this one, with these boys from last week, as you look at there, Jack Bland kicking 5 goals, and Billy Hayes and recruit Dustin Inglis, they were all prominent last weekend, and I think they might be all prominent again this weekend.
They will be. Ararat and Minyat Matoa, top of the table, match of the round, absolute beauty down at Alexandra Oval. The pace and run of Ararat versus the tools and the defence of Minyat Matoa.
Yeah, that's about it, isn't it? That's just the way this is all going to pan out. Being down there on that on the big ground at Ararat it's going to suit the home side, and they're going to go into this game thinking this is a big show, and they've taken a major scalp throughout the season, because they sit on top of the ladder with 6-6, and they've played some good sides, but they are about to play the side that's also unbeaten throughout the season too, and be a huge test. The way they're going, you'd probably think that they would enter this game favourite, especially on their home ground, with a couple of big forwards down there. Corey Taylor's kicking a few goals, and Tom Mills is kicking a few, and he got the recruits getting the footy down to him. But you said there about the defence of Minyat Matoa. You got Tanner Smith and Tim McKenzie down there. They've been stumbling blocks for most teams throughout the season so far. So it'll be interesting to see how Matty Wally gets his boys to work his way through that defence of the Minyat Matoa. But I think on the bigger ground, they're going to find more space, they're going to find more room. So I'm thinking that the Rats, on current form, I would say they might just skip this one, but she's going to be a cracker. And after this weekend, obviously, we have one team that won't be undefeated, and look, I'm just thinking it might be the Rats.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm going to join you with that tip. What about this? Warwick Eagles taking on Nil. Your boys a chance at Anzac Park to get a win.
Yeah, there will be. It'll be a big day for both clubs. Warwick got that one win when they knocked over Horsham, but the Nil boys are yet to taste the victory. But you look at their scoring, even throughout their losses, and they've still been able to hit the scoreboard pretty well. So you think that they are travelling not too bad. Like last week against Netball, although they kicked 19 goals against them, they did manage 11 themselves. So they have got a scoring power, where the Eagles at the moment, they don't quite have that scoring power. There's a lot of their work's been done down back, and Coach Danny Bell there, he's just got to find a way to put a score on the board. If they can do that, yeah, fair enough. For the Eagles boys might put their second win on the board, but this will be a good game, this one, and it'll be pretty willing right from the start, and hopefully the Eagles boys can pick up their form a bit, because it's been a bit scratchy over the last couple of weeks since I had that victory over Horsham.
It has been, and I think you're just edging there a little bit from the great man who's played a lot of games with the Warwick and also the Brim boys in your career. I reckon you were just edging that Nil might cause a little upset here. We'll watch and see that. But what about this one? Stawell and the Southern Mallee Giants. This at Central Park. They've lost 3 in a row, the Giants. They've got to stop the rot. Can they do it this week against the Warriors?
Well, yeah, this is massive, isn't it, for them? Coming off 3 losses in a row. And as I said, I watched Stawell firsthand last weekend, and they were very good. So the way they set up the ball and just ran in numbers and just a wave down the middle of Central Park, and they're back there this weekend. And it'll be a tough ask for the Giants this one. At the start of the season, you might have said the Giants would be well and truly up and going to start this game as a favourite, but I'm thinking the other way at the minute. I think Stawell will start this one as a pretty good favourite after watching them last week and knowing that the Giants are going through some injury worries there, and trying to find that formula up forward to get back to kicking that winning score. But I think Stawell might just get hold of this one, and it'll be interesting on the ladder there, won't it, after this one with the Giants. Sitting there with 2 wins. I'm not sure if they'll get a challenger for their spot this weekend with the way the team's outside the top 5, the way it's lining up with the round. But I'll be keen to get a win, but I just reckon the Warriors might be a bit strong in this one.
Oh, she's a river of a round. This is a really good Wimmera Football League competition this year. And looking forward, Scotty, to hearing more about your commentary on it. It's a big round of matches. We'll catch up with you next week.
Yeah, no worries. Good on you, mate.